Hello and welcome to Idiom Optimum. I'm sure you've always wondered why some students find some teachers more appealing than others. And you've probably asked yourself 100 times what it is that I can do to make my classes the talk of the town. In this video, I want to introduce 5 best practices in teaching. I want to cut out the fluff and be very specific about what will make you a superstar. My name is Dr. Ali Hashmi Raddawi. Idiom Optima is my YouTube channel. Please like, leave a comment, smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so we remain in touch. Without further ado, let's dive in. The first tip is, it's not about you. It's about the learners. Keep in mind that the instructional moves you create are not intended to furnish the session time. Put yourself in the shoes of the students as you develop your lesson plan. Instead of preparing a teacher-centered lesson plan, create a learning plan that puts students front and center. That is, build on their experiences, respect them, and use their knowledge. Engage them in hands-on activities and allow them to collaborate. Remember that your lesson is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Your responsibility is to teach everyone and not leave anyone behind. Create a variety of activities to suit the levels and needs of the brightest, average, and below average students. In other words, don't sacrifice anyone because no one is expendable. Here's my second tip. Let me start by saying that you can't go there if you don't know where you're going. Each time you enter the classroom, you want to share with your students where exactly you want to take them. Take time out to emphasize the learning outcomes. You must be very explicit about these outcomes so students don't have to figure them out on their own. When you do so, you share the burden of responsibility with them, and you will be able to determine whether you have hit the learning targets. In this way, your students are your partners in the learning journey, and together you will walk the journey and feel fulfilled because you've gotten there and you know it. Tip number 3. Create a secure, non-threatening environment. As a teacher, you are the moral authority. Parents, administrators, and educational authorities have bestowed upon you the power to design the learning experiences. Your primary job is to foster a secure, non-threatening environment for all students. Yes, all students without exception. Allow no room for bullying, cornering, putting people on the spot, blaming, ignoring, or marginalizing. Allow each student to perform at their best without fear of being humiliated or demeaned. Recognize that each student brings different strengths to the class, and that each question or answer indicates where they are in terms of their understanding. Treat all questions as legitimate and answers as provisionally acceptable. As a student, I remember I did not want to lose face by contributing an answer that I was not 100% sure was correct. I wanted to appear perfect before my teachers and my classmates. Now, in hindsight, I know better. I believe I should have shared whatever I knew, regardless of whether it was faulty, incomplete, or even imperfect. Tip number 4. Debunk the myth of content difficulty. Different students have different attitudes about what makes a course difficult. Some enter the math class convinced that they were not cut to understand math. Others would rather see the philosophy teacher burn in hell than attend a philosophy class. Some students in the sciences might say, "What on earth am I going to gain from a music lesson? I don't understand it, I don't need to understand it, and I don't want to understand it. I want to spend my time working on the subjects that matter most to my education." As a teacher, your top priority must be to debunk the myth of content difficulty. Here's how. First, draw on your students' prior knowledge. Assign value to that knowledge. Show how that knowledge, small as it may be, is helpful to build on and enhance the students' current understanding. When your students know they are in familiar territory, they develop a sense of orientation and comfort. They will know that they are not starting from scratch. Secondly, unpack the difficulty. Dissect it into tiny bits, explain each bit separately, and then demonstrate the relationship between these bits. In effect, you are building bridges upon which students walk, and you are erecting the scaffolds upon which these bridges are constructed. Then walking is a breeze. And finally, number 5, remove the boredom from learning. Well, you may be a highly disciplined individual who was raised in a culture where the teacher was held in high esteem. That is all right. Many teachers adhere to tedious pedagogical regimen by imposing content on their students. But whoever said education had to be depressing, austere, monotonous, and insipid? Learning is only as good as you make it. Take charge of the situation. Instill a sense of joy and fulfillment in your students. Combine the useful with the agreeable. Live it up and have fun. This day, this hour, this very minute, they're all part of your life and your students' lives. Don't bury yourself and bury them in infinite boredom. Inject joy and spontaneity and behave like a human being, not a teaching machine. Let your students speak, whisper, gesture, imitate, grimace, lip read, write backward, sing, tap, clap, flip, and flop if you like. That's okay. Well, I suppose I could have had a few more suggestions, but I will stop here. I want to emphasize that teaching is not about us teachers. We cater our class to individual students, each with their own history and life story. We are caretakers. The interests, needs, and wants of our students come first. So this is what you got to do. Partner with your students and let them weigh in on the partnership. Instill a sense of respect and confidence so they can all attempt to be the best that they can be without fear. Build scaffolds at everyone's level so no student falls through the cracks. Think of teaching as a community engagement where all are happy and engaged. Well, again, if you've enjoyed this video, please repost and let your friends know about it. So long.